to be doing some meal prep today. First step is we need to get these ribs spiced up. So here we got our lovely, beautiful looking ribs. What I'm gonna do is put them on a plate. And yeah, that looks like a good size. And we're gonna cut it open, because right now it's still in the plastic packaging, and we need to remove the membrane here. So I've got, was that about $300 worth of ribs? Not at all. This came in my butcher box, and butcher box gives you like 6 cuts of meat that's, you know, organic and good and grass-fed and all that, for about $250. So yeah, it's good quality and a good price. Hashtag not sponsored. But yeah. I'm trying to be careful too, because there's like juice in here. Should actually maybe be wearing my apron. Apron time. Why isn't T-Bone grilling the ribs outside? I don't know if he's ever barbecued before, but one of the nice things about the slow cooker is that we're gonna be busy and out today, but this will be cooking at home while we're out, and it'll be ready for us when we get home. I'm aiming to have this, you know, ready and in the slow cooker by probably about 9:30. So then it should be done in 8 hours at like 5:30. Okay, get in there. They will be the finest kind. Thank you. I'm just gonna grab it. Okay, and there's our nice big hunk of meat. And we're gonna carefully throw this in the trash. I did a good job not spilling the juice everywhere. So then, it says to take off the, whoop. So these are it's actually 2 slabs of ribs. Here's one, and here's the other one. This actually doesn't look like it has membrane on it. It looks like it's just the fat. So maybe it comes pre-peeled. Yeah, I'm gonna say that it comes pre-peeled, which is excellent. So we can skip that step. Normally when you have ribs like this, there's like a membrane-y skin type layer on it that you peel off in order to improve the experience. But I don't see that on here. I just see the fat. some beautiful, beautiful fat, which will render down over 8 hours. Always a nice surprise. Sometimes they do that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my seasoning. So I'm going to move this to the side, wash my hands. Wash the scissors off too. Okay. So those are there. Yes, Letter's food stream. Yeah, I decided that I just wasn't gonna do any video gaming because it seems like my shoulder and arm is the worst when I am playing games. So I haven't played any video or computer games at all since Monday, which is a long time for me. But you know, I've been reading and being in pain and doing other stuff, so. And I have to cook anyway, so I was like, oh, I'll say hi to you guys while I'm cooking. All right, so the next thing we need is seasonings. So we're gonna make a rub for this. Actually wondering if I should use the sea salt or the regular salt. Probably the regular salt. I have two. I have iodized like fine salt, and then I have this kind of coarse ground sea salt, but I usually use this for like finishing stuff. Good morning, Rykor. Is the cold weather triggering some issues? That, and I also had a seizure and strained my neck probably. So yeah, it's just something that happens to me sometimes. But yeah, it's probably a combination of factors. Yeah, it's unfortunately it's not abnormal for me. Yeah, fortunately I was in bed sleeping when it happened, so you know, soft area. And for other spices, I'm gonna go in my drawer here. I'm gonna need a heckin' ton of paprika, which should be this. No, this is cayenne, but I need that too. Paprika, here it is. Got some paprika. It also wants like onion powder and stuff. Garlic, we skip those because I'm allergic. So oregano is the other thing I need. Yeah, and that should be it. So I'm gonna mix these things together in a small bowl. Smoked paprika, yeah. I like these spices. My sister gave me these spices as like a housewarming gift, and they're super nice. I really like these. These other ones in the reusable glass bottles, they're good too. I inherited these spices from my mom when I moved out. I just took some of her spices that she wasn't using, because you know, spices really only keep their freshness for like 6 months before they start to degrade. So it's like she's probably not going to go through the whole bottle anyway, and you know. You had to only deal with one seizure that someone else had over your life, and they gave a big sense of they spooky. Yeah, and you're professional trained to offer minute zero response. Yeah, they can be scary. I fortunately have non-epileptic seizures, which are the less dangerous kind. Epilepsy is super scary, and non-epileptic seizures aren't as bad, which is good. Let me see here. All right, so I'm gonna grab a bowl. When you dealt with this epileptic, yeah, it's definitely scary. to get my measuring spoons. One of them was loose. Okay. So this is half teaspoon, which will be useful for the paprika. So this is for the paprika. And then everything else is teaspoon. The really, really sad thing, my half teaspoon measure would be very useful right now. And I don't have one anymore. I lost it. I only have the quarter teaspoon and full teaspoon. That makes a really nice sound. Suddenly ASMR stream. I can't redo it now. Okay. We'll get the teaspoon measure as well. Okay, and so the first thing we're gonna do is 2 teaspoons of salt. So we've got a teaspoon measure here. It's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours. That sounds like it's a song that I don't know, but thank you for the bits. You were about to make an ASMR joke about the cooking stream in general. Yeah. It's a rap from The Rock. Cool. All right, that's about a tablespoon. It's peaked a little bit, but I'd say that's about right. We don't have to be super precise anyway, because we're cooking, not baking. This is just a rub that goes on the outside. Okay. So that's 2 teaspoons of salt. We're gonna want a 1.5 teaspoons of pepper. Again, I don't have the half teaspoon, so I'm gonna kind of guesstimate. I also have to grind it, so. So what I just did was, since I kind of had to grind that, I put the teaspoon measure in the bowl and kind of tried to fill it up, but at the same time, it's filling up the rest of the bowl as well. So I'm pretty much guesstimating here. I just did 30 turns. I'm gonna maybe do 10 more. Because we want it to be nice and peppery. Mix that together a little bit. And if you look, whoop, I'll lift you. If you look there, got a pretty decent mix. And then we only want, okay, we want 1.5 tablespoons of paprika. So this is a 1/2 tablespoon measure, and we will fill this up 3 times. And I hopefully have enough paprika to do this. I think I do. It has a little shaker thing on the top. We're just gonna pop this off. Oh my God, it doesn't wanna come off. There we go, I'm getting it. So you just pop that off, set in the lid. And this is a little bit too large to dip in, so I'm gonna have to pour. Come on. I don't want it to come out all at once. I can kind of get the spoon in there to loosen it a little. All right. Okay, that's about 1/2 tablespoon. I need to do that 2 more times. I'm just hitting the side of the jar in order to try to loosen it up. That's about 2. And then I just need 1 more. That's 3. And I will pop on that top again. So it's back on and screw it on. So that's paprika. We need a 1/4 teaspoon of the cayenne, which is this one. Be careful not to mix up your cayenne and your paprika. You will have not good results. Pop off that top. The cayenne is still pretty new. I'm going to put a little scoop into it. That's about right. Here's your spice. I'm actually going to put in a little bit extra because I like a little bit extra spice. And also we're omitting some of the other ingredients like onion and garlic. For all y'all that don't know, I'm allergic to onion and garlic. It's a pretty inconvenient allergy at times. Not as bad as others though. Could be allergic to wheat or something. And then we need 1.5 teaspoons of oregano. So, where did my teaspoon measure? Oh, it's right in here. All right. Covered in other stuff. All right. So this is our oregano. Dried oregano. And it has a top that kind of lets you pour, which is nice. So, again, just being very inexact here. We'll say that's 1. Say that's 2. See, this is what makes me laugh sometimes when people are like, oh, you're such a good cook. And I'm just like, I just estimate everything. Say that's about enough. How come the apron says sugar-free? Excellent question. So this apron was given to me as a gift in college by a good friend of mine because I am not able to eat sugar. I have blood sugar difficulties. So, ooh, this smells really good. Sorry, you guys can't smell it. It smells like paprika, mainly. And my roommate had celiac. So she made me, this friend made me a sugar-free apron, and she made her a gluten-free apron. And it has like, I don't know if you guys can see the bottom, but it has like a carrot and cute stuff on it. Yeah, I wish I kept in better touch with some of my friends from college. She's doing great now though. Like she's married. She runs a 3D printing business. Lots of cool stuff. You learn these things from, you know, seeing on Facebook and whatever. All right, I'd say that's fairly well mixed. I'll give you guys a quick look at it. So, nice and evenly combined. Yeah, you never stay in contact with people like that. Yeah, it's sad. It'd really be a better thing to do, but I'm very bad at it. I think a lot of people are. So I'm gonna put away the things that I'm done using. Soy sauce is really in the way, so I'm gonna take that out first. Take out the stuff in the front, then putting stuff back in the back. Okay. Put the cap back on the pepper. And then spices go in the drawer. It's funny, you'll notice that all of my spice jars are labeled on the side because the last place I lived, I had them up in a cabinet, but this place has more drawers than cabinets, so now all my spices are in a drawer, and it makes it so that all I can see are the lids, which aren't labeled. Fortunately, I keep all my spices in alphabetical order because I'm weird that way, so it's not too hard to find things. Do I have a higher place where I can angle the camera down? I might be able to get a side profile of the workstation. That's a very good question. So immediately, no, but I could try to like find a book or something maybe. Or maybe like a box. It's hard because I can't get my phone to stand up on its side. Stacks are a food stream's best friend. I'd have to get something to put underneath the stand as well. Hang on, I'm gonna try and find something. Ooh, that might work. It's a little too tall. I need something a little flatter than this. That's even taller. Flatter than a Dragon Shield box. Perhaps a small notebook. That's about half the flatness. Kind of. It's a little bit too high. I don't know. It's difficult because you can't really see what I'm doing. I could try without the box entirely. Like that. Then you can kind of see what I'm doing. Could try that. So that seems all right. Okay, we'll go with that then. So these need to be washed. I need to put the ribs onto a tray, spice them, and then put them in the fridge. So I'm gonna get my baking sheet right now. My brand new Reynolds wrap. Still pick up audio well? That's good. I was worried that when I walk away it might be difficult. Fun fact, did you know that aluminum used to be so rare that it was more precious than gold? Then we figured out how to make it. The only remaining issue with the angle is the head is clipping off the top, but that's on me. How much I care? Yeah. Yeah, the only other thing I can think is maybe putting it on top of a book, but I don't know. Because I have to have it be sideways, it's like I can't do both the food and also my head. But standing a little bit of a distance kind of seems to work. So you might be like, a pan? But this is a slow cooker meal, and it is, but it recommends at the end to put it under the broiler really quickly. So we'll be doing that eventually. And this works well for putting the spices on stuff. So we're just gonna go ahead and start dumping this on.
Oh, you said, I remember hearing about the tip of some monument being made of aluminum because it was so rare. Most of the time you hear about space metal, fantasy, or myth, it was probably aluminum.
Yeah. And now it's so common that we just throw it in the trash. I learned the other day that aluminum can actually be recycled. You just have to wash it off first. Which, of course, almost nobody's gonna do. I've been trying to learn how to be more green, you know, minimize my carbon footprint and stuff like that. I initially got into it, you know, for my own health, but it's also like, if I want to have kids and I want them to have an enjoyable planet, I should probably care about this stuff. All right, that's good for the first side. I'm gonna plug that in a little bit. And I'm gonna flip these guys over and do the other side too. Rub it in a little bit first. Try to get it to stick. And then we're gonna do the other side. Spicing up the meat. Spicing up the meat. So it actually says the recipe says to finish off these ribs in the oven with a broil, to broil some barbecue sauce onto them. Well, a mix of cider vinegar and barbecue sauce. Actually not even sure if I'm gonna do that step at all. It's basically like just if you want to glaze them, essentially. And that should be the last of it. And we'll rub that in a little bit. Take some that spilled off, put it back on. There are a lot of recipes where they're like, put mustard on first and then do the rub, and it's like, that makes a lot of sense because, you know, it'll stick better.
Meanwhile, you're playing RPG Randomizer and suffering the opposite problem you are. Your stats and gems currently all hold no gas. You prefer rubbed ribs, but you've never done it in a slow cooker.
Oh, it works really nicely in the slow cooker because it really renders the fat down. I actually made ribs in an oven once, you know, on like 225, and I misread the recipe and thought it was only going to take 4 hours instead of like the 7 hours that it actually took. So I pulled the ribs out finally at like midnight and just went to sleep. Didn't even eat them. Had to order pizza for dinner, the whole thing. Okay. So now I'm going to put these in the fridge because they want to, for some reason, sit in this for like 30 to 60 minutes, which is why I did this step first. I'm going to try opening the fridge door and then bring the stuff over. Have it be a clear place to land. Great. I'm gonna clean up that step a little bit. We're gonna put this in the dishwasher. And it is currently almost exactly 8:30. So at about 9, we should be able to take that out and get started on that. I'm gonna wash these really quick, just so I can put them away. What I really like to do is put a little soap in the bowl and then wash them like that. It saves a little bit of water.
You need 97 health minimum to finish the game you're playing, and you have 166. Send help. Oh no. Hi, Milk Crate.
How are you doing? We just put our ribs in the fridge to, I mean, not marinate, whatever the dry version of marination is. A little bit on the handle too. Now those are clean. I will dry them off really quickly just so we can get them out of the way. So the next thing that we're going to make is we're going to make some steamed broccoli.
Saltify?
Yeah, saltify. We'll say saltify. So, the next thing that I gotta do is get the broccoli out and wash it. So this is some lovely, lovely produce. And I'm gonna try to take this thing off of it. And I'm gonna give it a quick rinse. Dry it off a little. It doesn't have to be super dry because we're going to be steaming it anyway. And my cutting board is on the other side. Do I move the cutting board or do I move the camera? I'll move the cutting board. I think that's probably easier. So we are going to be cutting up this broccoli and we're going to steam it in the Instant Pot. Prototype. Yeah, I subscribe to a CSA box, so I get fresh vegetables from there every week. It's very awesome.
Instant Pot steam?
Yeah. Yeah, you can steam broccoli in the Instant Pot. Instant Pot's over here. That's a basket for babies. This is the one we want. So as I finish chopping up the broccoli, I'm just gonna throw it in here. Tell me more. Yeah, so it's a really cool trick. Basically, you put the broccoli into the steamer basket, you put it into the Instant Pot, you set it to manual, and you actually do a pressure time of 0 with like a cup of water in the bottom, and it steams it. I'm gonna fold this towel back because that'll make the thing less loud. I'm gonna chop off the bottom woody part here. See, that's way less loud. Garbage can's over there, so I'm gonna cut off the little florets. We're gonna cut the stem into smaller pieces so that it steams fairly evenly with the florets. I cut off the woodiest end, but I try to keep, I try to eat as much of it as possible. It's like I paid for it, Cut it up into some pieces. You always like chunky broccoli. Yeah, I gotta get some. No reason to throw away the stem. That's fine. Yeah, you just want to kind of cut it into smaller pieces so that it will be cooked through. I should also mention that I do tend to like my broccoli not steamed to death. And this method works pretty well for that. That's fine. Okay, again, I'm just gonna cut off the woodiest end, throw that out. You can tell that my knife isn't really as sharp as it probably should be, but what can I say? I'm a little cheap. And 2 heads of broccoli should fill this up to the top pretty nicely. I try to cut them like where the natural splits are. And you want it to be fairly flush at the top so that it, you just want it to be in the basket.
Oh boy. That's not paying attention. Cut veggies into pieces. This is my future dinner. Sublimation goes streaming. It's gotta have a crunch to it still. Absolutely. Broccoli, it needs to have crunch to it. You're memeing with an old 2000 song. Do you have auto-translate on? What's auto-translate? No idea. My name's not spelled like that, just curiosity. Oh, he just can't read.
Yeah. Believe me, my first name is Caitlin. It gets spelled wrong all the time because there's so many ways to spell it. And I have a fairly uncommon one. Thanks, Mom and Dad. So. So it's just kind of brushed the broccoli granules into the trash. Give it a quick rinse. We'll be using this again later when we are making the second dish. All right, so now we got our broccoli.
Caitlin's a pretty name. Yep, but that's not how it's spelled for mine. That's a more common spelling, the one you used. Your parents named you Francis, which isn't bad, but everyone always spells it with an E. Name's only 5 letters and people still find a way to heck it up. So I'm gonna get a measuring cup right now. We're gonna put a cup of water into the Instant Pot. I should probably be holding it with the other hand.
It's very difficult because I'm right-handed, so I tend to try to do everything with my right hand, and that's the one that's hurt. So, okay, that's about a cup. Don't worry, the pot insert is already in there. Timo knows your name pretty well. Your sister named daughter Emerson. Oh. Emerson. Or Emmy Lurson? No, probably just Emerson, but like with extra vowels for no reason. Sorry. But with extra vowels to make it prettier. So now I'm going to put this in the Instant Pot. So what I just did is I put it in the Instant Pot, put the lid on, locked it, set the thing to be sealed, and then I just hit manual and 0. And so it'll come to pressure, and then once it's done, it'll beep immediately. No, it's for no reason. It'll come to pressure, it'll give the beep, and then you do a manual release, quick release of the steam. So that's why I kind of have it positioned the way it is, so that the steam won't hit the cabinets as much as possible, because it's, you know, wet and forceful. So that's done. All right. And it is 8:41. So now that that's going, we're gonna start on meal number 2. The steam from those things can like strip stuff, absolutely. Yeah, that's why I try to like, I have it on the corner there. I don't know if you can see it, I can bring it a little closer. I have it on the corner here, and the steam is right there, so it goes kind of in this space, as opposed to like right underneath the counters. Or right underneath the cabinets, rather. Meal 2. Yeah, I'm doing 2 meals, man. This is meal prep. So the second meal that I'm making is what these cast iron pans that you can't see are out for. So I've got some cast iron here. And we're going to be making kielbasa in mushroom sauce, which is one of T-Bone's favorites. Yeah, kielbasa. Hungry. Well, I'm making stuff for future because, you know, work has been really busy and Tyrone works out of the house, so it just like makes it difficult to, and we're trying to, you know, eat out less. You don't seem hangry. You put a cutting board on top of the stove and then turn on the overhead fan. Ah! That works well when I'm not also cooking on the stove, which I'm gonna be in this case. So we're going to take out the mushrooms, zucchini, and kielbasa and cut them up. You're memeing. So there's the zucchini. Put it over there for a second. Now mushrooms are really interesting. You actually don't want to put mushrooms under a stream of water because they'll get really soggy. So what you do instead is you dampen a paper towel and then wipe them to get any dirt off. And these ones are actually pretty clean looking, which is nice. Convenient. So this way they don't absorb too much water.
Oh, that's how you clean mushrooms. Thank you for the subscription. Genshin so early, no one else ever is.
Very much appreciate that subscription. And if you guys want more content like this, let me know. I've been trying to cook more anyway. And the nice thing about this meal is that it keeps pretty well because the sauce like tends to intensify in flavor in the fridge, so it actually makes really good leftovers, which is part of the reason why I picked it for today, even though I'm not going to eat it immediately. Though no lie, Tyrone will probably eat some as soon as he gets up. Get that dirt out of the cranny. Alright, so that's washed. This can be recycled, so we're going to recycle this. It goes in the bin. There we go. Alrighty. So now that we're to the cutting up phase, it may be a good time to preheat the pans. Because this meal is so large, it really goes in 2 pans. I can't do it in one. It crowds it. Cooking streams are usually pretty fun. You love streaming. Curse you, Tyrone. Curse you and your consumption of food. You do the same thing. No, it's good. I like when he eats my stuff. Makes it feel worthwhile. Nice fresh zucchini. I should probably be doing this with a larger knife, but I don't want to wash a larger knife, so here we are. Try to cut them up so that they're all about the same size. And I'm gonna need a bowl for this too. Yeah. Try this bowl. Just kind of clear the space. And this is dark garbage. As is this.
Yeah, as long as it gets sliced. When she cooks, that's more money than she can spend later on magic cards.
Yeah, I actually, well, T-Bone bought me some magic cards last night. It was very nice. We got some Strixhaven on my suggestion because I love the Mystical Archive cards. I'm not super excited about Midnight Hunt, man. I haven't been into it. Hasn't helped that I've kind of had to limit my amount playing on Arena, but yeah, I think Crimson Vow is going to be a little bit more interesting because I tend to like vampires. I have a vampire commander deck, so it's like, oh, I could get some new pieces. I can smell the broccoli cooking. So that's gonna go off soon. Now I can cut up the mushrooms. Yeah. Basically just try to slice them up.
You downloaded Arena? Have you played it? Strixhaven's good value due to the Mystic Archive. Absolutely. But you told me that the most exciting cards from Crimson Vow aren't even rares.
I would believe you, because they've been doing weird stuff with rares lately. Yeah, when I first started using the Instant Pot, I tried to put it like up where the crock pot is and turn on the fan, and it like did not make a difference. You have to like put it on the burner, I guess. I'll have to try that though, putting it on a cutting board. That hadn't occurred to me. Alright, should come to pressure pretty soon. Kind of had that audio cue. I'd say that's pretty well cut up. Put this back in the bowl. These are shiitake mushrooms, if anyone's curious. I'm sure you can use different ones. These are just the ones that are readily available in my farm box.
I'm familiar with Hero's Downfall. Yes! Murder, but it also has Planeswalkers. It was a rare and original Theros, and it has been reprinted as standard legal sits. And this time it's uncommon, right?
I think I remember that being a thing. These are ready. Now I need another plate to cut up the kielbasa. All right, here we go. Brace yourselves. Oop. I still get kind of nervous, and I like to watch it for a minute to make sure it's like not going to explode. Another exciting reprint is Valor Stance, which was originally uncommon, and it's still uncommon. And we take those. Ouch, I think my pinky hit the metal part. I wasn't expecting that to go back in. I think it hit the metal part a little bit. It did hit the cabinet a little bit. I didn't have it at the best angle. Yeah, we dig removal spells. So I also need to cut up the kielbasa into little pieces. Warm water, not cold. Yeah, it was warm because it was what I was washing the stuff with. It was warm water already. But yeah, it actually doesn't even look burned. Like, it looks okay. Looks like a normal finger. So I think I just like grazed it or got too close or something. So. Preheating. I'm going to put a little bit of butter in each of these pans and then start preheating them. I'm apparently opening a new stick. We're gonna put it on like medium low. That was a much better behaved one. Hair in the pan because that just seems to happen all the time. Okay. And I like to kind of spread it around the whole bottom of the pan. So that way it almost gets seasoned while it's preheating. And of course a little bit of extra butter is good when you're doing a cream sauce, even if you're making it with yogurt. Actually, a little bit more butter there. Hair in the pan? You mean added protein? Hooray, you won with a final max HP of 175. 130 is considered a lot. So you were pretty set there. At this point it seems like all the steam is out, so I'm gonna unlock it. We will open it up. I like to try to pour as much water as I can into the sink. Some of it inevitably gets on the counter. We're going to unplug it, pull it out a little bit more. There we go. So as we're preheating, we're going to cut these in half and then into little pieces.
Man, the Dragon Lord can melee me for 49. Normal max is 48.
Not a big issue, you just need to watch your numbers. It's good that you were able to beat the bad guys. Alright, and we're just gonna cut this one in half as well. Not even cutting them super cleanly or all the way through. That's all right. Rushing a So we're gonna try to put about half of each ingredient into each pan. Start with the pasta. Starting to see why 2 pans are necessary? Let me bring you over, you can see. Yeah, the recipe online says to do it in 1 pan. They must have like the biggest pan ever, because I don't know how they do that. Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
That a little bit. Left hand.
Dragon Lord is one of the oldest villains in RPG history, dating back to 1986. You found a new banned word. Oh no! And I can't fix it for you.
Yeah, the auto moderator is like extremely harsh. Okay, so while these cook, guess what? It's 9 o'clock. So we can put the ribs in the slow cooker now. I'm like 80% sure I'm supposed to put water in the slow cooker, but I forgot to write down how much. I have to look in the recipe, and I don't know what that's gonna do this.
Akira Toriyama drew the art for the game, and when he designed the Dragon Lord, he found a way to game the system.
It's a little bit more than a cup. I'll say that's about right.
Yeah, the video died. I know, I'm sorry. I had to check the recipe. I wrote everything down except I forgot to write down how much water to put in the slow cooker. And so when I went to go check, I was like, I don't know what this will do to the stream, and it killed the stream.
Is it back now though? You said the NES allows for 8 colors on screen at a time. 4 of them are reserved for menu. This meant sprites could only have 4 colors max. Found a way around that by not coloring in some details and letting the black in the background fill in the gaps. That's pretty awesome.
Akira Toriyama. Oh, that's so adorable. You think I don't know how to say Akira Toriyama. As if I didn't watch all of Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid. Alexa, stop.
Can you let me know in the chat if it's live again? I don't seem to be able to chat to you, unfortunately.
Might be something where you have to refresh.
And I don't know how to sync. No, you do that. I'm gonna cook it a couple more minutes because some of the stuff is a little uneven.
I didn't say it during the passage, you're curious. Yeah, chat's good? Okay, good. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to reduce heat on these to low. That'll take a minute or so to cool down. We want to wait for it to cool before we add the dairy so that it doesn't curdle. Although T-Bone actually likes it curdled, which is interesting. Makes it so that it's sort of no fail, which is nice. All right, this is done. I'm going to move this back so that I have some space. There it out. Can I get the lid on? Is the question. Yes, it fits. I was a little bit worried it wasn't going to fit. So you'll be much more aware of Western fantasy type, so you have zero knowledge of how much anime interest I take in. That's a good question. I watched a lot of Toonami as a kid. So stuff that was on Toonami like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, especially Gundam Wing, Outlaw Star was a good one. Basically that era of, you know, when you come home from school and you watch anime on Toonami. That's a lot of the stuff that I'm familiar with. I have watched some stuff since then. Like I just finished JoJo's Bizarre Adventure yesterday. So yeah, it's a little bit of a range.
and I just turned on the slow cooker and put it on for 8 hours. So that's gonna get started doing its thing. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to take this half cup measure. I know it's rubbed off, but trust me, this is the half cup. And I'm going to get some yogurt to put in the mushroom sauce in order to make the base for the sauce. It calls for heavy cream, but if you use full-fat yogurt, it has additional protein in it, and it also gives it this really nice tang that I feel like is important for the dish. Imagine Nico Bolas finishing up his plan to absorb all the Planeswalker sparks, only for his to get sucked up and be taunted with the words, "You thought you'd completed the Elder Spell, but it was I, Dio." Yeah. I have to say, after having watched all available seasons of JoJo's, season 1's still my favorite. I really like Joseph Joestar. I really like Jonathan Joestar. I feel like those are the peak Joestars, and it kind of gets diluted from there. But I mean, it's not like it's bad. It's just season 1 is my favorite. Screw Attack just did Alucard from Hellsing versus Dio. So I've got some organic whole Greek yogurt. I'm gonna get half a cup of. Just double checking this is clean, it is. Just gonna scoop it on in there. That's about half a cup. And I'm gonna take a spoon and I'm gonna divide it evenly among the two. Once I stir it again. See, this has been good because as it's been cooling, it's been cooking a bit more. So now the mushrooms and zucchinis are looking cooked through, which they weren't initially. And then I'm just going to start stirring it in. Very good to see it's not immediately splitting. Try to use every last bit of that yogurt. Another nice thing is that you can use metal in cast iron pans without having to worry about scratching them. Cast iron really is the best. Like literally the only downside, well, okay, there's two downsides. One, it's heavy, but that's actually kind of an advantage because then you're like lifting in the kitchen. And then the other disadvantage is that you have to clean it right away, which it's like, oh, clean kitchen, oh no. So, yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. You guys want to take a look? So we got, that's basically done. I'm actually going to turn the stove off at this point. But yep, it's kielbasa, zucchini, and mushrooms, and a nice creamy yogurt sauce. I actually didn't even need the milk that I thought I might need. It reduced very nicely. You can see it split a little bit here. That's a little bit of split, but not bad. And then here are the ribs in the slow cooker, and it is going to take 8 hours, which is perfect because I'm going out for the day. So yeah, that's pretty much it. At this point, we are set for several days worth of meals this week. And as you can see, it took me about an hour and 20 minutes to do all this. It's probably going to take me another 10-15 minutes to clean up. And yeah, meal planning is very efficient. So I think that'll probably wrap it up for me today. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out and seeing a little bit of cooking demos. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day, and please be sure to stay safe. Have a good one. Cooked everything in the rough time it took you to play 2 control matches. Yeah, it's fun.